had very precise, powerful 2 days of brainstorming and bringing the ideas on how we can take the tourism and hospitality industry to the next level and how the academics can truly become relevant to the field. And it's a great honor now to allow, if you allow us, to present to you the rapporteurs so that you can understand where we've been and what has been truly discussed and become the effectiveness model for this industry. And thereafter, we welcome you to issue the certificates and probably giving us the closing remarks. Without further ado, allow me now to welcome the rapporteurs for the report to be presented. Karibuni sana.
My name is Ali Samij. I am from the Center for Behavioral Studies. This conference was opened by Dr. Amis Kigwangala, the Minister for Natural Resources and Tourism. And the conference had 5 sub-themes. The conference had 57 papers which were presented, 17 international papers, and 24 papers were from academics, and 16 papers from industry. The conference had 142 participants at the first day, and the second day, there are 100 participants. So the sub-themes of the conference were consumer behavior, quality service and innovation, skills development and employment, employability and career development, entrepreneurship and sustainable tourism, employability, behavioral change in tourism and hospitality, community-based tourism, the role of community-based tourism, and community-based, the role of community-based tourism, meeting, incentives, conference, and exhibition, which is MICE, and ICT. So basically, it was found that there is mismatch between the skills provided by academia and industry. This was evidenced by different in salaries between professional working in the hospitality and tourism sector, a lot of youth being unemployed, 57% of hotel managers being foreigners, less skilled personnel who fit the demand of tourists. That was according to Tawil today, the paper presented today. So, the reason behind, as it was discussed by presenters, was because of numbers of reasons. One being perception attitude toward tourism. I will mention some of the perception. Most people perceive tourism activities as not decent job, especially for women. I quote, beauty takes the lead. Also, regarding the point of perception and attitude, there are few males or not. There are few male in housekeeping and laundry operation. Also, it was pointed out that there is lack of soft skills and technical skills, which other presenter called them the 21st century skills. Which also we can connect with the curriculum is not up to date. So the point that we are raised to address these problems include restructuring the soft skills program in the training institution. Training institutions should seek making industrial demand a reality. Therefore, the industry-focused training and skills manpower development should be enhanced. The private sector should fully engage in making important decisions affecting their operation, including person certification. Also, that we should promote domestic tourism. We should also use behavioral science, or we should incorporate behavioral change to address problem of attitude. Like I said, there is attitude in housekeepers, laundry operation, that is a work for women. Their behavioral change should be used. And lastly, to promote sustainable tourism, there is a need to improve safety and security in tourism, ICT skills. So that's a summary of what has been presented. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we are so happy that the summary has been truly the summary of the summary. So you have saved our time. Honorable guest of honor, the program that is in front of us is the issuing of certificates, and the normal procedure will be, if we call your name, you start from the far left, and then you collect your certificate from the guest of honor, and then you proceed, leaving the space for other people. So I'm going to call your name, and then you will receive your certificate. And I think you can use a strategic posing so that the pictures can be taken. That will be good enough evidence to prove that you were here. Honorable guest of honor, the certificates are quite many, but knowing that you have been a Moran and also now Oleguainan, you can withstand any kind of stress. Thank you. The following certificates are for appreciation for the very contribution the team has done. And the first certificate goes to Dr. Jane Mary Ntalilwa. Mpigeni makofi jamani. And the second certificate goes to Dora Monyo. Now, I'll be very quick, so that also help me to be quicker to come. Jealous Sherov, Weje Lugendo, Professor Mkunde Mushi, Rachel Kasui, Alan Kaplan, Alan not here, Awadh Musa, Abraham Ziku, Dr. Bujalu, Mr. Milan Devacha, Godfrey Bonaventura, Lilian Msuya, Isaac Busworth, Karen Sioka, Ernest Mwamwanja, Lisa Karamagi, Wellington Chibebe, Dr. Vediana, Dr. Gordon Nixon, Dr. Gordon? All right, thank you. The following certificates are for participation, and we start with Dr. Martin Chegere, Ali Samji, James Msimbe, Edward Kennedy, Ditar Pranchna, Mohammed Shahib Mohammed, Safia Mchavu, Dr. Fatma Hamis Said, Grayson Fatma Hamis, Grayson Ajipiti, Ongoso Elijah, Weja Lugendo, Kihingi Isa, Doto Mrunya, Sospita Mnyeti, Francis William, Mshana, Safines Mshana, Lilian Machuruza, Separatus Lawrence, Francisco Juma Maiga, Claudia Inshakanabo, Salome Lugata, Zera Mwanga, Saidi Likoko, Perpetua Ishika, Happiness Salema, Emmanuel Tonya, Dr. Emmanuel Tonya, Dr. Bahati Mbilini, Patrick Michael, Joyce Samuel Msigwa, Gerard Kibira, Consolata Shaw, Levocatus Paul, Aristetit Mkembela, Coleta Nchimbi, Winnie Mwangi, Dr. Innocent Pantaleo, Innocent, Aaron Msingwe, Edith Mamuya, Susan Murunga, Saidi Rukemo, Reginald Kimario, Proches Ngatuni, Dr. Ladislaus Batinoluho, Mary Kinunda, Helman Mwamokye, Helman, Lorna Boniface Mwijarubi, Abubakari Mnyongea, Naiman Mbise, Pepetua Ishika, Teresia Benedict Msanga, Witaka Matiku, Professor Jane Eric Jensen, Miss Giara Bahai, na Pepetua utakuwa unaongoza ya idadi ya vyeti ulivyonayo. Hongera sana. Dr. Kasim Omar Kasim, Dr. Dr. Florian George, Emmanuel Sigara, Kim left before, Georgie Shango, Harry Mwaijonga, Domina Moshi, Vanessa Asenare, Dr. Jane Mary, Caesarian Lusanyu, Charles Aginiwe, Jafari Mwemtsi, Samuel Savunyi, Samuel, Laurent Kaheta, Laurent Mzirai, Goodluck Nkoye, Daniel Mubila, Amir Abdi, Dr. Nelly Maliva, Dr. Gerard Kibira, Dr. Mulebo, Masuma Akbar, James Msimbe, Neema Sabulaki, and now this is, okay, we're going to put the last for the best. Dr. Remedius Ruhinduka, Zaituni Musa Ali, Veronica Gabriel, Euphrates Mganga, Magdalena Mboya, Godlisten Lengai, Mariam Mambosasa, Dr. Dunstan Kambanga, Mkude Mushi, Rogers Bajungu, Dr. Ahmad Khatib, Neema Kusiga, Juliana Mjengwa, Amina Ukwaju, Philomena Kiemi, Joseph Mtimba, Saida Karamagi, Martina Hagwet, Sakina Msonde, Eunice Ulomi, Jessica William, and last but not least, just in case that you have missed your certificate, kindly contact the organizing committee so that we can see, could be the logistical issue. Eunice Ulomi, please welcome and receive your certificate. Honorable guest of honor, you may be seated, please. Honorable guest of honor, allow me now to welcome the chairman of the board from NCT, Mr. Imani. I know this is a surprise to you, Kajula, to kindly invite the guest of honor for him to give the closing remarks.
Honorable William Ol Nash, Deputy Minister for Education, the high table, the participants, the coordinators. I'm here to welcome the guest of honor to speak with us to close this very auspicious event that happened. Let me steal a bit of his few minutes to congratulate the team that organized this event. Congratulations. It's awesome. I wasn't supposed to be speaking here, so I think Dr. Shogo made sure that I speak a bit, but I'm quite happy that I'm seeing this happening at NCT. I'm sure more is to come. Thank you so much. Karibu sana. Karibu.
The chairperson of the Ministerial Advisory Board, Mr. Iman Kajula, the representative of NACTE, the representative of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Islam, the representative of the Vice Chancellor of the University of the Open University of Tanzania, Chief Executive Officer of the National College of Tourism, Dr. Shogo Mlozi, Principal, College of Social Sciences, Professor Razak Rakina, the conference keynote speaker, Dr. Gordon Nixon, distinguished speakers, conference delegates, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, good evening. I understand that my task this afternoon is simply to close the conference. I understand you have had very two productive days which I did not participate. So I'm not going to pretend that I was among the participants to discuss what you had ample time to discuss. Because if I did try to harness a guess on what was discussed, then I'll be opening endless discussions which are not necessary at this stage. So I'll remain to my call, and that was simply to come and close this meeting. If it was in church, we'll simply say, Bwana awe nanyi. But if it was in court, you'll say the court is adjourned. Simple. So I will also try to do that. However, I think that will be an injustice also if I did not pay if I did not give my thanks for getting the opportunity to attend this very important conference. I wish to take the opportunity very sincerely to thank most profusely the principal of the college, the National College of Tourism. It is because of her that I'm here. I have to say this. The organizers generally, in totality, invited me, but it was because of her. She had given me an invitation a long time ago that she intended, to partner with the University of Dar es Salaam and other institutions to organize a beautiful conference of this nature. So she asked me if as a Deputy Minister for Education, I could come, when this meeting is organized, to come. At that time, it was not to come and close, but simply to attend. So I thank her because of giving me this opportunity. But then, in that extension, I will also thank all the organizers generally for giving me the honor to come and close the conference. I will also take the opportunity to congratulate everybody, for participating in this important conference. But also, I'm moved, actually seriously, by the amount of work that has gone into the 2 days discussion. I've been to conferences before, but rare have I had the opportunity, to witness, presentation of some 57 papers, in 2 days. So that is some serious work to which everybody of you deserves a very special part. So I appreciate it. But I understand, I'm told, that for the National College of Tourism, this was like, it is very, very, very first big international conference. So I would also wish to take the opportunity to congratulate them for making this event. I understand that the theme of the conference was, well, not necessarily in my words, but I think the attempt for the 2 days was trying to see how do you strike a balance between academics and industry? How do you build bridges between academics and practice in the tourism sector? I think this is what you are doing. If I have gone through, the list of the papers that were presented, I think this is what came out very conspicuously is you wanted to see that you don't do what we call empty armchair theorizing when it comes to tourism and hospitality, but you want to inject a little bit of practice in it so that it makes sense. So I think this is what we discussed. I think this is a discussion of this nature could not have come at a better time. For a country like ours, which is struggling to find terms of how best we can harness the vast potential that we have when it comes to natural resources. All of you realize how big this potential is. We have one of the best and actually untraversed natural resources. It's like we have virgin natural resources. Literally, we can compete with any country in the world when it comes to the huge tourist potential that we have. It's not about beaches, it's not about mountains, it's not about rivers, it's not about national parks. Mention anything. It's not about the peace that we have as a country. It's not about the culture. It is literally anything that you can think of when it comes to tourism. So we endowed with enormous natural endowments that can be a very, very big potential, for boosting our economy and taking us forward. We understand that despite, these endowments, these natural endowments that the Almighty God has bestowed on us, the extent to which we have harnessed them for our development is very wanting. We understand fine, the tourism sector is among the leading, foreign exchange earners for the country, standing at 2.4 billion last year, which is huge. It is momentous. But you realize that a country like ours, with this, potential, has only managed so far. The highest number of tourists that we have managed to attract is only 1.3 million. We're struggling to see if we can hit the 2 million mark come 2025. Is it 2025 or the end of the year? But this is, it's peanuts compared to what we have. Countries like Morocco, that do not have half of the attraction that we have. They're hitting, close to 8 million, same as Egypt, South Africa. So we have a long way to go. But while there are many, many, many things that need to be straightened and put in the right perspective for us to move forward, the organizer of the conference, and indeed everybody during the last 2 days, have seen one element that is also important, and that is the necessary training and skills that are required, to harness the tourist potentials. If you do not have the necessary skills and the necessary training, for me, I'll view the skills, and the technical know-how in the tourism industry as a bridge to the resources. If you do not have the skills, then there's no way that you can exploit those resources. You need the necessary labor force, the necessary skills for you to be able to tap the resources. And this is why I think it is important that our academic, polytechnics, universities need to work seriously to make sure that we produce, the best labor force you know, that is well attuned to the demands of a modern tourism industry. You know, you can have all the parks and, you know, the tallest mountains you can ever think of, but if you do not have the best people in the hospitality industry, you know, then nobody is interested in coming to your country. So this is why this meeting, this conference is very important, and this is why my ministry, which has the overall responsibility of making sure that we have, you know, the necessary environment for giving education and skills to our youth. This is why we will take the deliberations of this conference very seriously. I understand that the National College of Tourism, you know, along with many other NACTE-based institutions, but also, you know, even TCU-based universities and colleges, I know you're trying your best, but we are far from being where we want to go. I'm told, you know, the industry, the tourism industry employs about 1.5 million people. The capacity of the National Tourism College is still it's just emerging. So we need to increase, you know, the number, not just the quality, but also the number of people who go into the industry, because, you know, the demand is still very high. But then when I met the organizers shortly before I came to this room, I told them, is it only a question of skills? Is it only the question of education? Or is it also because of the issue of culture? Is there anything we can do about our culture which may not resonate well with the demands and needs of a vibrant tourism industry? So I think the professors were, I think they told me that it's also a culture thing. So what I'm trying to underscore is the fact that we need to do more than training. We simply, as a country, needs to do whatever it takes to make sure that we have the right skills and attitude towards the tourism industry, because that is the only way we can open and harness the potential for social and economic development. I was told, and I'm very impressed, that about 16 industry stakeholders managed to participate in this conference. And I think, and I don't mean to be discourteous, but if I did not get any industry stakeholders in a conference like this one, I'll be very mad. Because this is not the approach the education ministry is suggesting that we go. These days, we want our institutions of learning to do what we call, we must have teaching factories. Long gone are the days, when academics sat, in their libraries and, offices, simply to write books, which at the end of the day manage to collect dust, but rarely go to have any practical use. These days, meaningful education is only meaningful if it can bring food at the table. If your education does not translate into any practical advantage, then you can call it something else, but not education. And this is why the tourism academia needs to marry very well with the tourism industry. And this is why, and this is why you need, you need to overhaul your curricula to make sure that you give ample time for students to go to the field. You need to do that because that is the only way you can know what is the demand, what is the need of the demand side. You're the supply side, they're the demand side. So if you want to build a bridge, then you must practice the concept of a teaching factory. So I'm very glad to have, to hear that at least 16 industry players participated in these meetings. It would have been totally hopeless. Come and listen some 57 papers, about tourism, if you don't have those who are in the field. So I'm very glad that this was able to take place. I said I was not going to talk a lot, so I'll try to stick to that. In the Ministry of Education, our little service to the tourism industry, apart from the fact that we are managing all these institutions, but we are implementing what we call a national skills development strategy. It's a 2016 to 2025. So we have a strategy which we are implementing at the ministry, which is a national strategy. And tourism is among the 6 sectors that we have identified as a priority. We think tourism along a few other sectors are leading sectors that can contribute significantly to national development. And I think it is a priority sector. The rest being agriculture, energy, construction, transportation, and communication technology. But through this, to implement this strategy, we have developed what are called sectoral skills councils. And we have developed what we call a tourism sectoral skills council, which brings on board a number of tourism professionals and practitioners from the private and public sector. And among the functions of this sectoral council is to provide tourism and hospitality sector trainers with up-to-date information, skills, demands in the sub-sector. This sector skills council, tourism sector skills council, is being hosted by the private sector foundation. It is, a baby of government. We are supporting it financially, but we have placed it within the private sector foundation. Because many of the players in the tourism sector are in the private sector. So we think they are in a better position to inform us better what kind of skills are required in the tourism sector. We think this is an opportunity for academia, linked with this tourism sector council, for you to be able to know what is the reality out there, to know what are the requirements of the sector. That way, you will be linking very well. You'll be making a very important link between industry and academia. I do not need to take any more of your time than it is necessary. But let me again take the opportunity to thank everybody, who has made this conference a success, including the organizers, the sponsors, the participants, the paper presenters. I wish everybody all the best on your way back home. But if time allows, for those who are coming out of Tanzania, please visit some of our tourist attractions. And they're everywhere. It doesn't matter whether you're in Dar es Salaam or, we have got one of the best beaches around. So, you don't have to be in Arusha. You can be anywhere and enjoy those attractions. Now, without taking much of your precious time, I now have the singular honor to declare this important international conference on linking industry with academia in tourism and hospitality sector in developing countries officially closed. Thank you very much.
I think because we are multicultural, we can stand up and adopt the American culture of appreciation by giving the clap while we are standing. Naomba tupige makofi tafadhali. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Actually, the outstanding innovation, it was for us also because of the papers that we have presented and the answer that we have come with. Honorable guest of honor, we really appreciate your time, and without wasting much of the time, allow me to welcome Professor Razaki Lokina, the principal of College of Social Sciences from the University of Dar es Salaam, for the vote of thanks. Karibu, Prof.
Your Excellency, Honorable Olenas, Deputy Minister for Education, Vocational Training, Chairperson of the Board of the College of National Tourism, Executive Director, Dr. Shongo, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the media, protocol observed. It has been our pleasure, first of all, to host all of you in this conference. And also I'm thankful that you all came to Dar es Salaam to attend the conference. We have been fortunate to have some of the prominent persons from academia, the industry, and I'm sure we have all benefited from this conference for the 2 days. I'm very much thankful to all sponsors of the conference. As you can see, we had quite a number of them. Without their generous support, we cannot imagine how the conference could have been achieved. I'm sure that this won't be the first and it won't be the last. We'll continue working with us and with this collaboration for more conferences like this to be organized. On behalf of the organizing committee, I sincerely thank His Excellency, the guest of honor, Dr. Hamis Gongala, the Minister for Natural Resources and Tourism, for accepting our invitation to spare time, despite his busy, tight schedule, as the one who officiated the meeting. I thank also all presenters, panelists, delegates from the academia, participation from the private sector, and the other individuals for attending and taking their time as well to comment or present whatever they brought in. I take this opportunity to thank all reviewers and technical committee because it was a big task. All the papers that were presented had to be reviewed and to be whether rejected or accepted, so it was a task that took also some time. I appreciate their commitment as well as the effort that they made, and that's why we had these 57 papers well analyzed articles.
Mimi nazungumza kidogo.
Nchi yetu ya kile ambacho kuna wote tumekubaliana na ufanye